Hello and welcome everyone. I am your manifestation coach, Natalie Schlute, and today's episode is all about living with purpose that you can find more balance in life. This is a really important topic because I think we get very caught up in our purpose being a career, something we do, a task that we have to accomplish before we die, or something really big like that, something external outside of ourselves, when in reality, our purpose is so much more than that. And it's so subtle that I think sometimes we miss what our big purpose is. So I have a few key points that we're going to be covering about our purpose, what it is, what it isn't, the quality versus quantity of what we do and how we do it, finding balance in life and what that really looks like and how to be realistic about the balance that we have. And then also understanding what our purpose isn't. Because until we realize that our purpose isn't something specific, that we maybe had in our mind for a really long time, it opens us up to the possibilities of allowing ourselves to see purpose as something so much bigger and so much deeper. If you love all things that have to do with manifestation, intuition, just daily life, mindset, all of this beautiful work that we're doing, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I have a new video for you. So let's start with what your purpose is not. Because when we know what your purpose is not, we can then figure out more clearly and more easily what it is. Your purpose is not to save the world, to make $1 million, to have a specific career, to travel to certain places, to accomplish certain goals and things that you may believe you're supposed to do by the time you die. It is not about the external things. Because your true purpose, if that was how it worked, if it was something external and outside of us, or if it was some goal, then what if you never accomplish it? Or what if you change your mind and you want something different? By not accomplishing it, does that mean that you're not living in your purpose every day? What if you have health issues like I do and you can't rise to the occasion every day? You can't hustle it out and you can't reach those goals necessarily in the time frame you think you can, or maybe you never reach them at all. Does that mean that I'm suddenly unworthy or undeserving because I didn't reach this external goal outside of myself? I didn't reach my career goals, or I didn't reach such and such goals, whatever they may be, the money goals, the travel goals, the buying a house by a certain age or having a family by a certain time. For someone who maybe wants to have a family, but it's just not working out for them and they're having difficulty getting pregnant, does it mean that suddenly they're not in their purpose because they really felt like having a family was something that was important to them and it's not working out in the way they thought it would? Does that suddenly mean they're a bad person or they have bad karma or there's something wrong with them? No, it doesn't mean any of that. And so keep in mind when it comes to our purpose, it's not necessarily about something outside of ourselves. It's not about the things that we do or the things that we accomplish. You are worthy and deserving of receiving anything and everything that you could ever want manifestation wise. You're worthy and deserving of being happy, of being fulfilled, of finding joy and bliss in the small things in life every day. You're worthy of having health and finances and loved ones surrounding you and having a career or a job that you really love and enjoy. You're worthy and deserving of all of it, no matter what you've done in the past, no matter what kind of karma you have. You are worthy and deserving of receiving everything you want. And so whether or not you receive it or you work towards it or you change your mind doesn't really matter. And so our purpose is not something specific. It's not something tangible necessarily. It is something so much deeper and so much more foundational and essential than that. And yes, you can have big, lofty goals, and you can have small goals that mean a lot to you as well. You know, being a housewife and a mother, that can be your goal, and that can be a beautiful thing to really raise beautiful children in this world. You can have big, lofty goals in your career that you want to reach a CEO level or you want to start your own business. And those can be beautiful goals for how you want to influence the world or a product that you want to bring to the market that you know is going to help people or a service that you know is going to help people. I'm in the service industry. I'm serving people through how I educate. And so these things, yes, they are part of what we do, but they're not necessarily a reflection of who we are and who our purpose is. They're just things that bring us joy. These external goals are there because they're fun for us. I do my business and I run my business and I create online courses and guided meditations and I create all this content on my podcast and on my YouTube videos, not because I feel like I'm supposed to or I have to. I mean, there is this drive inside me that allows me to feel passionate about what I do and I'm excited about what I do and I enjoy it. Yes, I have that internal drive and motivation that's coming from a divine source, but it doesn't mean it's my purpose. And it doesn't mean that if I didn't have this, I wouldn't be fulfilling my purpose. You fulfill your purpose with what you do every single day, with how you show up for yourself and with how you show up for others and all the little things in your life. Because deep down, your purpose is not what you do, it's how you do it. Let me say that again. Your purpose is not what you do, it's how you do it. And what that means, it's how you show up for your life. It's how you show up for this moment right here. And the moment that you're going to have in 5 minutes and in an hour and 6 hours, the moment you're going to have tonight and tomorrow, that is your purpose. Your purpose is to show up for life the best that you can any given moment of any given day. Your purpose is to choose how you think and feel. It's to choose how you take care of your body. It's to choose what standards you have for your health, for your career, for your relationships, for your finances, for how you spend your free time. Those are all part of your purpose. It's about all the little things, and it's about being intentional and being conscious and aware every given day for how you're showing up for your life. And when you shift to seeing your purpose in this way, it really opens you up to a completely new way of seeing your life. It's no longer about whether you do something or not. It's about how are you doing it. It's as simple as how are you washing the dishes? How are you making, dinner or meal prepping your life? It's the quality of how you show up for those little moments in your life that change everything. The attitude that you have, the energy that you have with the little things in life. Your purpose is really more about the quality versus the quantity. It's not about the external goals and numbers and things, and we can still have those. We can still hit timelines of SMART goals that we have, of financial goals that we have, of things that we're working towards to finish school or college or hit a certain point in your life when you want to move and when you want to do things. That's fine. Those are all wonderful things. But it's more the quality of how you're getting there. There's a beautiful quote. My mother has this sign in her home that says, "Do little things with great love." And I truly believe that that is our purpose. It's to do all the little things in our life with a lot of love. And when we show up for our life with that perspective, suddenly everything feels like our purpose. When you're in the grocery store and the person behind you starts talking to you and you start a conversation, when you have this short, beautiful little conversation and it's coming from a place of love and you're in that moment and you're present, suddenly that has so much purpose. You could bring so much light to someone's life simply by stopping and saying hello, simply by giving eye contact and saying hi, even if it's just a stranger walking down the street. There is so much joy and so much love and so much purpose in all these little tiny things that we do. And you never know what kind of impact you're making on someone simply by smiling, simply by giving them eye contact, simply by listening to them intently without thinking about your response in the background of your head while they're talking, and actually genuinely listening, not just listening with your ears, but listening with your heart, listening with your body, listening with every aspect of your energy and feeling what they're feeling so that you better understand the person that's talking to you. Little tiny things. When you do little things every day with so much love, suddenly you're living in your purpose all the time. Because again, you're always worthy and deserving. You're always here. And the more present you are with your life, the more you're going to find joy and fulfillment and bliss. And the easier it is actually going to be to accomplish all of the other goals that you have on your checklist, all those external goals you have on your manifestation list. Those are going to be easier when you become more present, when you do little things with great love all day, every day. That is how you live in your purpose so much more. Life goes by so quickly. It comes and goes so fast. When you're a kid, you think everything lasts forever because you have a very short memory and time frame of things. But as you get older, things move faster and faster and time flies. But when you live in a purpose every day with love and compassion and empathy and awareness and consciousness and self reflection, then suddenly your life completely changes. Suddenly you see things differently, you feel things differently, you're more present, you understand people better, you come from a more loving space when you communicate with people, you have better relationships. Those better relationships turn into more opportunities to go have fun, to travel, to meet new people that bring you joy, to get a raise, to have the opportunity to put together a team that allows you to build a business that you've always wanted, or allows you to draw in the right people so that you and your kids and your family have better people to interact with. And there's just so many little things that come from the little things. There are big things that come from the little things too. And so being more present is so important. Showing up with love and compassion and understanding is so important. This is how you live with more purpose. And in order to find balance, we also need to realize that balance is an ebb and flow. There's a range to balance. There are things that are really important to keep up with on a daily, weekly basis so that we find balance with our health. For example, making sure that we're getting the right number of hours of sleep for our own body, making sure that we're eating well and exercising and getting sunshine and having some downtime to relax and decompress. All of those things are important to have balance throughout the week. But balance on a daily basis or even seasonally isn't always realistic. There are times in your career, in your job, in your business where you have to hustle a little bit more. Maybe you need to work more hours. You're launching a new product, you're launching a course, you're doing certain things, you're working on some big projects, and it just takes a little bit more time and energy. And then there's an ebb and flow where there are other times in our life where we have a little more leisure. We're going on vacation, we're spending time with family during the holidays. And so on a day-to-day basis, there's not going to be a perfect balance from day to day. Every day is not going to look the same. Every month is not going to look the same. Every week, every season is not going to look the same. And even in chunks of decades, it's not necessarily going to look the same. So balance is always going to be shifting. But we want to make sure that there's overall balance. Overall balance is making sure that you have your priorities in check, that you are prioritizing eating healthy and taking care of your body, that you are prioritizing sitting down and having really deep conversations with your loved ones, with your children, with your spouse, with your friends, and building those deep connections over time and making sure that you're maintaining those beautiful, deep connections. Because if you want those people to be there for you, you need to be there for them too. And so it's finding that balance in your overall encompassing vision of life versus finding balance in the day to day. Know that every day is going to be a little different. Some days we wake up tired and exhausted. We've had a long week. Maybe we were sick. You never really know. Day to day, it's going to be different. Other days we wake up bright and we have a lot of energy and we have a lot to give to the world and we can do a lot more. But there's always going to be an ebb and flow. So making sure that you know what's important to you. You know what's important to maintaining your energy, maintaining your health, what's important to maintaining your career, your friends, your family. These are not in order, these are just general, right? I do believe that our health and our own energy and body is at the top of that list. Then it comes to people closest to us, like our spouse and our family. And then we work through our friends and our career and so forth down the ladder. And sometimes we have to prioritize our career in order to support the family for a short period of time. But finding the balance is also finding a way of how are we going to work this situation so that I'm not neglecting my family too long or my spouse too long, so that I'm able to find that ebb and flow. So again, there are seasons, there are things in our life to keep that balance. But in order to maintain your purpose and your balance, be present. Find joy. Do things with great love. And if your mind is constantly wandering to fears of the past, fears of the future, worries, insecurities, things that have happened, you're holding on to resentment, then we need to clear a lot of that stuff out. Clear it out, do the energy work to allow that stuff to be healed so that it's not taking so much of your energy and your time and space in your mind and in your emotions and in your body. And allow yourself to be more present with what is. Have a lot of gratitude, have a lot of love, and you're going to find so much more joy, and you're going to attract more miracles and beautiful manifestations into your life effortlessly when you approach life from this perspective and this point of view. It's a really beautiful way to live. And I hope that you continue to live in your purpose and that you continue to find your balance and ebb and flow with all the seasons of that life has to offer you, because this is really where joy comes from. And you don't want to miss it, right? The more you're stuck in your head, the more you're worried or fearful or obsessive about whatever it is, the more you're letting life pass you by instead of really being present and just enjoying what is, no matter where you are. So I hope that this inspired you. I hope that this give you some food for thought, some new ways of stepping into the world and gaining perspective on really being in your purpose every single day. Do what you love, find what you're passionate about, keep your values in order, and just live the best life that you can, moment by moment. That's all it really takes. If you want to learn more about how to balance your mindset, to get your mind aligned so that you can be more present and manifest more effortlessly, be sure to check out my online course, Step Into Your Power Academy, where I teach you how to manifest your dream life, as well as tap into your intuition and live more in alignment with your highest and best self. I will make sure that I put a link below so you can check that out. It's open a few times a year, so you can get on the wait list. And then, of course, be sure to check out all of the playlists that I have. I have so many playlists that you can binge watch on different subjects from every type of manifestation, mindset, love, intuition, and so much more.